Hello everyone. Welcome to Art Town Podcast Series or ATPS as we like to call it. Every week on Friday we feature art and design professionals who take us through their journey in this fascinating world of art. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Spotify, and with that let's continue with the show and dive deep into the ocean of art. Have with us an exemplary artist who brought the beauty of Indian Railway in front of the world through his paintings. He is none other than Vijay Biswal. He's a self-taught artist who left his hometown in Orissa in order to work as a train ticket examiner in Nagpur division of Indian Railway. But his passion for painting never left him, leading him to brush down their life around trains, platforms and stations on a canvas. These paintings touched the hearts of millions of people. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi was no exception. He could not hold himself from appreciating this painting in front of everybody in a famous talk show, Man Ki Baat. He went on painting remote places throughout the world and representing India internationally. It feels like each of his brushstrokes has a story to tell. His love for Indian culture reflects through his masterpieces as he finds beauty in local places like markets and streets and even mythological characters. So let's dive into a friendly conversation with a man who sees beauty everywhere. Hello, sir. Thanks for joining us today. It's our pleasure to have you. Before we dive into our conversation regarding painting and sketching, I just want to ask you how are you and how is lockdown treating you?
Thank you for asking. I'm good. Actually, in fact, I feel guilty admitting that I'm so good during this lockdown period because, the world is going through so much disruptions in every front. The business is down, the transport is not working, so many people jobless, so many people without resources and all those things. So definitely the world is going through very difficult times. But personally speaking, if you ask me as an artist, I think it's the last few months has been quite productive for me as an artist. It has been a fantastic time so far. So yes, I can say that lockdown has been treating me quite spectacularly.
Great to know that you are doing fabulously in your work, and I hope that your family and you are safe and sound wherever you are. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So, has this lockdown brought any artistic ideas for paintings and sketches to you?
Uh, uh, no, not lockdown or this pandemic per se, because this is such a depressive subject, and I'm kind of a positive person. If you have seen most of my artworks, they have that positive vibes about them. Pandemic has never kind of inspired me that way. Though, yes, since it was a kind of sad to paint something COVID related artworks that I did, but definitely those are not the works I'm kind of proud of. It's very satisfying and incredibly rewarding for me that these times, this comfortable time, spending hours and hours undisturbed luxurious hours together in this in the privacy of my studio. Uh, that has been kind of phenomenally uh, constructive for me as an artist, and I have painted. I have devoted quite a lot of time reinventing myself, redefining things, and repainting certain subjects. Comfortable time to devote for your artworks, but suddenly we are face to face with some leisurely hours where in the studio you are alone and you are recomposing your uh, art at pace which is comfortable, um, um, and that way you are creating something that you've never painted before. The subject could be a little different, but the approach, the technical finesse, the result that has come out of during this period is quite highly satisfying for me as an artist. So, and luckily. during this period, I'm lucky to get some projects, some art projects from America, which are some subjects which is quite close to my heart. And these are quite long art projects. So I'm quite happy doing those things. And also a lot of commission works, some interesting commission works that I have been getting. So yes, I've been quite happy the way this lockdown period has come up so far. So that way, I'll say this pandemic period has been quite constructive for me.
Yeah. If you look at everybody brought a very artistic side and a different side of themselves while sitting at home during this lockdown period. Everybody tried to either sing or play an instrument or just do some artwork, some painting. If you look at the brighter side of the whole lockdown situation, it's actually been, it has actually shown people a different side of themselves, right?
Right.
So one thing that that is really interesting about you is that you are a self-taught artist, and so I just wonder, from where did you start learning the drawing and sketching process, and how did you learn it on your own?
Let me tell you, I am from Odisha, from central part of Odisha. It's a very small town called Pallada. Right now, it is in the district of Angul, central part of Odisha, where there is not much, knowledge about art. The art culture was not very evolved, I must say. Even right now, it is not that, because see how Indian small towns are. But I always, when I came to know about who I am, when I got my consciousness as an individual, I thought that this is something, drawing and sketching is something I feel very happy about when I do. It's not like painting. It's basically drawing sketches, drawing random lines, like probably some butterflies, some flowers, some human faces, birds, and stuff like that. I just needed a surface to express myself, and whatever the medium it could be. It could be charcoal. In fact, I started my artistic journey with charcoal, the real charcoal I got from my mother's oven, that is chula. Started with those kind of charcoal, the real charcoal. So started scribbling on the floors of my house and the walls, and of course I got a lot of beating from my mom. Then even the wet sand of the riverbeds, those with a twig, I could draw lines and figures. That could give me immense joy. So there I knew, because at that point of time you don't know all that terminology about artist, a profession, a hobby or stuff like that. You just needed to draw figures, lines, whatever fascinated you as a child. You were very curious. I was very curious a child. I mean, I was into butterflies, I was into flowers, I was into different floras and faunas, and the place where I belonged, surrounded by rivers, huge rolling mountains. So these things quite excited me, and I always knew deep down that this is something that gave me a lot of joy. My sisters, they are all elders to me. At that time in the school, I started my education with a slate. If you must be knowing that, old timers know that you used to write on a slate. It's a kind of black kind of thing. Slate is a kind of stone flat thing, and you used to write on those things. And there I started scribbling on the chalk. Then I graduated to pencil, then pen, then poster color, sketch pens, so stuff like that. So it was always a learning for me, a very interesting learning for me. I always used to read those comic books also as I grew. And Chandamama was a magazine. I was very, very fascinated with it. It used to come monthly, and I used to buy this magazine, and I used to draw some of the figures that I used to find them. And so this is how I started my journey, and it was always there all along my career, in my school and through my colleges, and even after having a railway job here in Nagpur. That passion continued. That is one thing I always was very sure, because this is a kind of strong passion. I'm driven by that. So I'm not a self-taught. I'm self-driven, and I always believe that self-taught cook is the best cook. Self-taught authors are the best authors, and self-taught artists, self-driven artists are the best artists. So it's all about your inner desire to express yourself, and it has been with me through thick and thin. All along, yes, some difficult times did come along the way, but I never left this passion. This passion has always been with me, and it is going stronger and stronger. I am as fascinated with art and the entire process of art like I was a teenager. So yes, I'm a highly driven artist, very, very obsessive about my craft.
This is a really nice thing that you said right now, that anybody should be self-driven, right? And you talked a lot about being self-taught, right? So have you ever felt that maybe you should have taken some technical, maybe a professional study in the art field or in?
Initially, I did feel that way. I thought I should have. I should have gone for a professional art college, but at that time, the parental pressure is that when you tell your parents from the kind of community I belong to in Odisha, they are like artists थोड़े झोले छाप होते हैं. They don't have that financial standard, and I belong to a middle class family. My father had a medicine store. So they always think that you should have a government job. Government job is the ideal job to have. Yes, that pressure was it. Then I got my first job. I applied for the first job, and I got that railway job. That took me from Odisha to direct to Nagpur division, and I was posted in Gondia as a ticket checking inspector of all jobs. And that is a job, I was not at all psychologically ready for. But yes, so that's why, the initial years kind of difficult. And then I got adjusted with it. Then I found my own space. During spare time, I could manage to follow my passion.
So the thing is, everybody should have that courage, right, to actually pursue that. So that is something which was really recommendable that you did. So when I saw your work, when I went through your website, and when I went through the Instagram page that you have, I found a very different style that you have for yourself. It is very close to the roots of our country, and somewhere you are just painting the streets and the markets of any random place, and then sometimes you are painting something which is really deeply rooted in mythology, right? So, like, from where do you get the inspiration to paint something, or why do you paint a certain place or a certain thing?
One thing let me tell you is that I work in different media and different genre. I'm good at watercolor. I'm good at acrylic, and these days I'm heavily into ballpoint sketches. So I have I choose sometimes subjects choose which medium to work on. There is inspiration galore. The first thing is that since I'm an Indian, and I'm rooted to my culture, to my place. I love my country, India, and also Odisha, where I belong to. I'm closely associated with these motifs, our cultural heritage. Many artists ask me, yeah, what to paint, and I'm kind of surprised. You are in India, and India is so full of our cultural mosaic. You look at all around you, geographically, historically, and we have so much mythology around us. We have subjects galore, thousands and hundreds of subjects are there to paint on, and and these are the things that fascinate me. And if it's a very simplistic subject, sometimes if I go plein air is kind of outdoor thing when you go out and paint something on the location to hone your skill, to develop your skill. Because when you go out and paint on location, I have painted quite a lot of locations in my city, in the current city, Nagpur, and wherever I go on workshops, I make a point to sketch and paint something on location to gather the feeling, the joy of catching things live. It's quite a different experience than just painting from photographs. Though sometimes we do that in my studio, but often this is the training session for me as an artist. I go out to different locations to paint with watercolor because that's the easiest medium. Because I want to wrap up my painting sessions within 1 hour. Watercolor is such a medium that you have to complete it within 1 hour. Otherwise, you lose the spontaneity, the transparency which is required to make a good watercolor. So that's why most of these ordinary locations that you are talking about of different parts of this country, beautiful country, the countryside of India, and the Odisha village, then a marketplace in Nagpur maybe, a place in Sitapadi maybe. So these are little places where I try to capture, and then I come to this mythological part. Of course, sometimes all the subject, there is a lot of dynamism and fluidity about it. They can go across the board. Sometimes I choose something for watercolor, but when I feel that it has a potential for acrylic, probably I translate that onto my canvas as well, taking reference from my online on the spot sketches. Then coming home with a lot of photographs, and I can develop into a beautiful painting with different stories attached to it, like all those train paintings that I have seen. Because my train paintings are quite viral.
What was your experience when Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi mentioned you in his talk show Man Ki Baat?
What happened? I painted on location a painting back in Bilaspur. There in Bilaspur, it's in Chhattisgarh, somewhere in Bhatapara. I did a rough sketch, a little watercolor, and it was wonderful. Then I came home and I thought that it had the potential to for a acrylic. Then I tried it on acrylic. It was incredible. I painted it in 2012, I guess, and I took it to Mumbai Art Festival, where the painting got rave reviews. The painting got sold, and everybody just appreciated that painting so much that I thought, oh my God, I'm working for railways. I was waiting for my connecting train while I was on my job. The train was late and there was raining, and I captured that moment on my watercolor. Then came home and painted something. This is my subject that people can relate to. Here is a person who is working for railways, and besides working, he's finding time to express his passion and showing his creativity. So that painting kind of connected with the public, and it went completely viral across all social media, from Twitter to WhatsApp, then to Facebook. Everywhere it got millions of shares. Even till today, you can find some of my paintings doing the rounds in social media. Then Prime Minister came to know about it, and And in July, the date I won't forget that is July 26, 2015. He praised because Mann Ki Baat was quite big at that time, and probably it was first or second episode. I don't know, maybe second or third episode. You check it from YouTube. So he praised lavishly. He praised me for 1 minute almost, and at the end of the day, Prime Minister in his inimitable style told, और इन्होंने अगर विजय बिस्वाल चाहते तो कहीं और जाके पेंटिंग कर सकते थे, लेकिन उन्होंने रेलवेज को अपना आराध्य माना. At the time I was working for railways. Now I have quit it to have a full professional career as an artist. But at that time I was working, and the Prime Minister was quite massively impressed, and it was Oscar moment for me. Then I never looked back. Oh my God, I need to paint more trains, and they got sold as well. Then because of course at that time my painting had started selling, and I was kind of very keen on quitting my job because I wanted to be a full-time artist, not a railwayman who also painted. No, because I wanted to be taken seriously by the art world. I took it as a challenge. Then I thought, yes, people are ready to buy my work. Then why insist? If I continue with this job, then I quit my job. Soon after, Prime Minister, did that Mann Ki Baat thing, and then I quit my job. Of course, later on, I made a painting for him that went to him. I gifted to him, and that painting also was put up for auction, which fetched the highest price back in 2017. Yes, it was big news back then because National Gallery of Modern Art did an auction for all the gifts that Prime Minister had got from different sections of the society, from artists. And yes, it was big news. And my painting happened to be the one which got the maximum prize money. And that money was used for Namami Ganga project initiated by Prime Minister's office.
By the way, the whole story of yours was so inspiring. It was so different. And if we look back, the job that you had in the railway station, that actually helped you evolve as an artist. And it actually gave you direction. So that is really...
But thank God, I was posted in such a place which was creatively very inspiring because my train paintings, if you observe them closely, it's not about trains. It's about the people, the body language, the way we Indians travel. Because I always mention that each railway platform is like a mini India. You have different, each railway bogie compartment is like a mini India, the entire India traveling together. There is something very, very Indian about my art, because I'm so, because I find, because I have been to Denmark, I have been to Russia, I have been to Istanbul, to Turkey several times. But the kind of stimuli I get, the visual stimuli, the surrounding that I get in my own country, this is matchless. This is matchless.
So, as you mentioned right now, you have presented your art both nationally and internationally, right? So, do you have any such experience to share with us during these exhibitions and the competitions you have participated in internationally?
Quite a lot. See, I'm not a competition thing. I'm not into too much competition. I stopped competing anywhere. But I have been. I used to be. I got my first national award in 2008, I guess. Then international award for my cartooning, because yes, there's another aspect to my creativity as well. I am a cartoonist. I used to be a cartoonist. There was this one point of time. I wanted to be a cartoonist. So because I was highly inspired by R.K. Lakshman. He's my all-time idol. R.K. Lakshman and Raja Ravi Burma. They have been my idol figures. I always look up to them. Art residency in 2015. That was in Russia. It was an art residency where I was invited among several artists from across the globe. They are invited by virtue of their talent and specialty in painting, what kind of different types of painting they're making. From India, me and another sculptor was chosen. So we are two people who are chosen to be there in the residency. I stayed in Russia for about 1 month, 28 days. There I painted around 15 paintings. 50 artists were there. It's a huge art village that is Penza in central part of Russia. I was there in cold Russia. Of course, it was summer there in Russia, but it was still very cold. That gave me a lot of experience. Then I went to invited to Turkey several times. Turkey after that, from 2015 and 2000 till last year, I was invited there 5 times, and for different symposiums there I used to spend around one or a couple of weeks painting and of course explaining your process of art making and mingling with other artists, taking inspiration from them. So that's the experience. Then another art residency in 2017. It was in Hoye. Hoye is in southern part of Denmark, close to the Germany border. It was a very cultural village, and where I was invited by a gallery over there to paint their historical locations, some very historic hotels, very old ruins, some places like that. I painted around 25 paintings on different locations. They are all outdoor paintings because so I stayed there for around 26 days, and during 26 days I ended up painting 25 acrylic paintings, all acrylic on canvas on the spot, and a few watercolors as well. So these are certain experiences, those global experiences. Why you evolve as an artist, your approach to art changes, your narrative also changes, your language of art making also changes. So I think these are the huge influences. Of course, at the end of the day, it is your artist, your artwork that should tell your story, which have hold me, which have this is the kind of experiences which have definitely influenced me, and I think made me a better artist. So yes, great influences internationally.
I can imagine how interesting all those experiences must be. You described it. Just makes me realize it must be really, really worth a learning experience going out there and just exploring new places, right?
Definitely, you bet.
Yeah. So you told me that through trains and through the naturalistic paintings that you make, people usually connect to it, right? So
Right.
what do you want to convey through the mythological paintings that you make?
Like I say, these are our identities. We need to showcase our thing because India as a country is so rich, so vibrant. We need to know our root. We need to know our root, our own essence. We have so many things going in our country. You don't have to look elsewhere for inspiration, and whatever beautiful thing that is there in your country, try to project it in the global level. See, these days, see the Hollywood has almost dominated the entire global movie scenario. Why? Because they have marketed their thing, their culture around the globe. Probably India is the only country which has maintained its own identity through Bollywood. But most of the movie industries in different part of the country, they have been completely overshadowed by the Hollywood. So that's why if you don't speak about your culture, your ethos, your motives, your identity, then who will recognize you as an artist? Because at the end of the day, it is your root, your own identity, your own originality that will make you stand out in the crowd among all the artists. So make your country proud of you as well. So that is why I try to do these mythological characters. This young generation, they are completely these days lost in this, that Netflix world. They are losing sight of our own culture, our own cultural roots. So this is my own humble way of bringing them back to our mainstream culture. Like the other day, I noticed that Kartikeya is a character, is a mythological character, the brother of Lord Ganesha. Though Ganesha has been getting all the attention, but Kartikeya is not. Lord Murugan is not. So I thought, why not cage Lord Murugan while the entire entire nation is celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi? I was busy sketching Lord Murugan or Lord Kartikeya as we know him, and it was sensational. And you won't believe that sketch got sold within after hitting on Instagram within 1 hour. The painting found a buyer instantly. I mean, these are something everybody loves. So if we have art lovers waiting for my kind of art, and this suggests this is something which is giving me pleasure, the spontaneous joy, then why not sketch them, right? So that's the purpose of me doing these mythological characters.
You had a very stable job, right? So when you
Right.
left that job, you must have aimed something, right? You must have aimed on doing something when you decided to choose this career, right? So what do you think was that aim, and what do you think is the role of artists in our society?
No, basically, the thing is that I wanted to paint. I wanted to paint 365 days, 24/7.
Oh,
Because it was such a heartbreaking thing to leave your painting, unfinished painting, and go for your job, because I had a traveling job. I had to go in trains. Uh, I had to go to travel to different parts of the country, from here to from Nagpur to Bilaspur to Raipur. So different cities I had to travel, and that was heartbreaking for me, because all the time I was haunted by the image of my unfinished painting. So it was always in the back of my mind. So I was getting disturbed more and more, and I knew that once I quit this job, I will have this mental space to concentrate on what I want to paint all the time, and quality will improve definitely. Because and by that time, my paintings had already started selling, uh, and it was getting popular across the world. People are buying, not just from India, but I had buyers from America, from Australia, from China, from Taiwan. I was sure, I was not at all worried that way, because I knew that whatever I was doing for the railways, that could be done by anyone else. But God has given me something unique, something. It's like God has told me, go and paint, be the artist, the full-fledged artist, without any hindrance, without any control. So I wanted that space. That's why I quit my job, and that was such a fantastic decision I took, and everything fell in line, and opportunities came tumbling one after other. So much collaborations, so much commissions, and yes, I never looked back. It's the best space to be, because see, if you're an artist, uh, be an artist. If this is something that I can give value to my life, and in some way I can contribute to my society, then why not? Why not? Because you have just one life to live. Why not live it like a king? So no regret. I quit my job, and that departure from my job was quite smooth, smoother than I expected. Because of course the credit goes to my wife, who has been like a pillar of support for me. If you, for instance, if you look at the work of Picasso, the kind of work he did, post-war, that Guernica painting is iconic. Look at that painting; it changed the mindset of the world leaders. So art is a powerful medium. It can change the society. Artist is a kind of historian. He's a kind of historian, but he narrates the history in his own way, in a very simplistic way, in his own individualistic voice, and he has his own narrative style. When you look at it, in particular, it could be a landscape, it could be a face, simple face, like the take the case of a Van Gogh's sunflower, or take the case of Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is just a simple face, but when you look at her, you see the entire European history of 15th, 16th century in her eyes, in her smile, in that mysterious smile. So many stories you can tell through your art. A huge history book cannot contain so many things as a painting can. So painting is definitely a powerful tool, and every artist, every creative soul, a poet, they can contribute to the society in a very, very positive manner. I'm very, very positive about it.
Yeah. I think everybody should be aware of the fact that financial stability is not the only thing. The mental stability is also a thing which is even more important than that, right?
But it is interconnected, ना? But it is interconnected. कहते हैं ना, भूख के पेट, जैसे कि आपको अगर भूख लग रहा हो, आप पेंटिंग नहीं कर सकते हो, है ना? आपकी पेट में भूख है, आप पेंटिंग कैसे करोगे? So that is essential. Financial stability has to be there. See, I came at a point when I was financially sound, because I won't advise everybody to just quit that job and start painting or following their whatever passion they have. It's not that drastic, because I think I got everything right for me. Maybe I work hard. I don't think the kind of work I'm putting right now, very few can. I'm very focused on, very dedicated to my passion. So that kind of passion has to be there. That strong willpower has to be there. But yes, certain, financial security, if your partner is working, then so far so good. Quit it. Quit your job and do something. If you have a partner who is earning, who is also contributing to the family resources, definitely you are at the best position. So yes, definitely passion is something that gives you identity as a human being. So go for it.
Yeah, and I hope that the family members support this decision of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They support them. Yeah.
No two opinions about that.
Yeah.
Family support is so essential.
Yeah, very.
My wife quit her job to help me, because she knew that the kind of work I was doing, the creative stuff I was doing, she thought that if she continued her job, probably the potentiality that I had, that she saw inside me, probably it would remain unexplored. So thanks to her, she has always supported me and supporting me, and will be supporting me always. So definitely family support is a must.
Yeah, very, very, very true. So you like everything about art field. I feel that way, because the way you speak about your work just makes me realize that you are totally in love with your art and the work that you do, right?
True,
so, but
true,
then,
true.
Is there anything at all that you might dislike about this field? Is there anything at all?
No, I don't think. No, not at all. Not at all. The thing, especially for me, because I'm doing multiple genre, multiple medium. When I get bored with acrylic, I switch to pen art. When I get little bored with pen drawing, then I go to watercolor. So I have three mediums, and successfully I'm doing it. So I'm always entertained that way. There is not a boring moment for me. Sorry, if you ask Shahrukh Khan, are you bored with your acting? Probably he'll say no. So it's like that. So never ever have felt that no, this is not something. Every aspect of art making is definitely good for me. I cannot pinpoint any aspect of it. The thing is that I sometimes miss my studio. and my wife takes care of that. That is the only thing. Otherwise, everything is good about my art. I can go on and on and on about my art making. So this is the reason for my living here. This is my soul. This is my passion. Like I say, probably there is multiple color flowing in my veins. So definitely, nothing is bad about art making. And I'm so obsessed about it.
That's amazing to know, sir. That is really amazing to know. Everything that you said, every word that you said, has motivated me in some or the other way, and I am quite sure that it will motivate and it will inspire all the viewers that are listening to this as well. So, but we have been motivated right now. But is there anything, any suggestion in particular that you want to give to everybody, every listener that is out there?
Give your best, follow your passion, and be positive about that. Yeah, the world is, there are so many opportunities coming up these days. So many creative aspects where you can find expression. You can be successful at. So do your own thing, and especially to the artist, because this is Art Town podcast.
Yeah.
All about creative people, all the artists. So for the all artists, I will always tell you, don't look at this profession, this passion, this art making as a profession. Just follow your passion. If you like painting, paint, not as a means of earning something from it. I never did that. Right from the beginning, I never looked at art making as a profession. As something that I can monetize upon. Never. It is coming because initially when this same kind of curiosity occurred to me, and I asked some of the senior artists, then they said कि देखो अगर आप पैसा के पीछे जाओगे तो आपको पैसा नहीं मिलेगा. एक ऐसा समय आएगा पैसा आपके पीछे भागेगा. So money will run after you, and that's what happening right now. You just stick to your goal, your passion, enjoy, have loads of fun, whatever creative thing you are doing, painting, singing, dancing, whatever creative stuff, writing or writing a poem or whatever that may be, whatever creative space, do it, but without trying to monetize it. Just do as a self-driven person. Have loads of fun, then I think success is guaranteed.
Yeah, it was very insightful, whatever you said right now, and I hope it is going to help everybody out there, every person who is who wants to be an artist or who just wants to paint, just to have fun. So
yes.
I really feel that it is going to help all of us. It was really nice talking to you, sir. I got to know a lot of things, and the conversation with you just made me feel very, very happy from inside. So,
thank you, Thank you, Pratyusha. Thank you so much.
So, yeah.
Hope you liked our show. You can give your valuable feedback and suggestion of speakers you would like us to host next by writing us on www.artdown.store. Stay tuned to our channel as we are going to come up with brand new episodes every week on Friday. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Spotify. See you soon.